All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the long-term care facility. You know, it's a world that many of us will end up navigating, either for ourselves or for people we love. So let's get a really clear picture of what it is, who's involved, and how the whole thing works.
First things first, we gotta clear up some confusion. You hear all these terms thrown around: nursing home, skilled care. Are they the same thing? How are they different from a hospital? Well, it really all boils down to one simple but super important distinction.
And here it is. Short-term care, the kind you get in a hospital, is for those sudden, acute health problems. Think a major surgery or a really serious illness. But long-term care, that's designed for chronic, ongoing conditions. It's for the long haul. And that's what we're focused on today.
Okay, so let's build on that idea. When you strip away all the jargon, what exactly is a long-term care facility, or an LTCF for short?
So, at its heart, an LTCF is a place for people with ongoing health needs. But here's the part that really matters. The goal isn't just to give care, it's all about boosting a resident's independence and ability to function. The whole model is built around the person, always putting them first.
Now, making that mission a reality takes a whole village of dedicated people. It's definitely not a one-person show. It's a full-on team. So let's meet some of the key players who would make up your personal care team.
Kind of like the quarterback of your nursing care, you've got the registered nurse, the RN. They're the ones assessing your needs, mapping out the clinical game plan, and leading the rest of the nursing staff to make sure that plan is followed down to the letter.
Next up is the person you'll probably see the most, the Certified Nursing Assistant, or CNA. I mean, these folks are the true heart of daily care. They provide that essential, hands-on support for everyday life, from help with bathing and dressing to just being that consistent, friendly face you see every day.
If you happen to be there for rehab, then the physical therapist is basically your personal coach. Their entire world revolves around creating a plan just for you, to help you build strength, improve your mobility, and get back as much physical independence as you possibly can.
And, you know, care is so much more than just physical. The social worker is your guide for, well, pretty much everything else. They're there to provide that crucial emotional support for both you and your family, and to help you navigate all the complex stuff like financial programs and community resources.
And believe it or not, the team doesn't stop there. Depending on what you need, you might also have an occupational therapist helping with daily living skills, a speech-language pathologist, a registered dietitian managing your nutrition, and even a life enhancement director planning fun and meaningful activities. It's a truly comprehensive, whole-person approach.
So, you've got this all-star team of experts, but how do they all come together to create a plan that's completely unique to you? Well, it all comes down to a really collaborative process. Think of it as the blueprint for your care.
The main event here is something called the Care Conference, and this is so important. The resident and their family are treated as key members of the team. This isn't something that just happens to you, it happens with you. These meetings happen right when you're admitted, then about every quarter, and really any time your condition changes.
And that meeting follows a really clear and logical path to create what's called the Resident Care Plan. First, the whole team assesses your needs. Second, you all set clear, achievable goals together. Third, they plan out the specific actions or interventions to meet those goals. And, crucially, it's not set in stone. That plan is constantly being evaluated and updated as you go. This brings us to a really critical point. The entire system is designed not just to care for you, but to empower you. So let's talk about the specific systems that are in place to make sure your voice is heard and your rights are protected.
You know, this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's a fundamental right. But a right is only as strong as the systems that are there to actually protect it. So, how is this principle really enforced?
Okay, so the first tool is internal, the resident council. This is basically a regular meeting where all the residents can get together as a group to raise concerns, suggest improvements, and talk about any issues they have directly with the facility's managers. It's your collective voice, right there inside the building.
The second one is external, and it is incredibly important, the Ombudsman. This person is an independent advocate who works for you, not for the facility. Their only job is to investigate complaints and protect your rights, your health, and your safety. They are your official advocate to the outside world.
All of these roles and rights are held up by a really powerful system of legal safeguards. Let's look at the key laws that act as a promise of safety and quality care for every single resident.
The big one is a law from 1987.
usually just called OBRA. Honestly, this was a total game changer. It was a landmark federal law that completely overhauled long-term care, creating the first ever national standards for everything from staff training to, you guessed it, resident rights and quality of life.
You've probably heard of this next one, HIPAA. This is that essential federal law that acts as a shield for your privacy. It makes sure that all of your sensitive personal health information is kept totally confidential and secure by everyone involved in your care.
So who actually enforces all these rules? Well, state agencies conduct these annual unannounced inspections or surveys to make sure facilities are in compliance. And passing these is a huge deal. It's how a facility gets its license to operate and its certification to get paid by Medicare and Medicaid. It's simple. No pass, no pay.
So we've looked at the people, the process, and the protections. It's a whole system designed from the ground up to put the resident first. But you know, a framework is only a starting point. And that leaves us with this big question. How do we, as a community, make sure that system doesn't just work on paper, but in practice, for every single person, every single day?